computer. Okay. All right. We are all set, and I'm very sorry for the delays. You know, we had several people that that just joined us, so we kind of wanted to wait a little bit. There are still some others that are going to be joining us, but we've got a lot of people on this call so far, and so we want to just go ahead and get started with the group that we've got. So welcome everybody to the class. The title of the class, as the text that I sent out yesterday, is DoTERRA 2021. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the new products. There's a lot of really neat things in the pipes that DoTERRA is going to be rolling out. So one thing that I love about DoTERRA is that they are never satisfied with the progress that they have made. They're always trying to improve. They're always trying to increase. They're always trying to do better. And there's been a lot of questions. There's been a lot of complaints. There's been a lot of things that we wanted to see better. And so DoTERRA responded. And so DoTERRA 2021 is going to be a very good year. So, and I think probably most people are thinking that 2021 has to be a better year than 2020 was. Myself, personally, I was fine with 2020. I mean, there was a lot of craziness in 2020, but myself personally, I grew more in 2020 than I probably have grown in the past 5 years. So I don't know if everybody else on this Zoom could say the same, but I know personally for me, even though it was maybe more difficult in many ways, it was very rewarding in many other ways. So I've just been incredibly busy this year as well. And so it's been a good year for me. So anyway, a new year, not almost, is here. Oops, I'm sorry, I overshot it. Okay, now I'm not sure how many of you folks that are on this call got this kit. This is the Pursue 2020 Convention Kit. It came out just a couple months ago, and a lot of these products that you see here, or some of these products that you see here, are not even available as of yet. I know Patty, who's on this call, she had asked about the On Guard sanitizing wipes that you see in the very middle of that screen. And I had no idea that they were not even available. I was sending them to people because I received them because I purchased the convention kit, but other people had no idea that this was even a product. And so as I'm sending them to people, they're like, oh, this is great. How do I get it? And so I'm like, well, you just order it. Only to realize that you couldn't just order it. I received it only because I purchased this particular convention kit a couple months ago. So anyway, if you don't have any of these products, these are going to be some products that you're going to want to get, such as that bergamot mint. That's an awesome thing. The adaptive soft gels. I know people that take these and say that they work. As a matter of fact, if you happen to know anybody who has ADHD, autism, Asperger's, any of those autistic spectrum type things, I know an adult who takes the adaptive and was able to get himself off of all of his previous medication for Asperger's. He uses the adaptive capsules, he uses adaptive roller, he uses frankincense, he uses all kinds of just protocol that he actually, designed for himself. So those adaptive capsules are unbelievable. All right. And if you don't know anything about that adaptive line, then you definitely want to learn more about adaptive, because it's an incredibly effective line of products. So anyway, the Davana, wonderful smelling, the Tulsi, which is holy basil, an awesome oil. So these are just some of the products that you might not know about, the cuisine blends. You've got the Mexicana, you've got the Italiano, you've got the tropical. These are some cuisine blends. If you like to put the oils in your food, these are blends where you don't even have to worry about, you know, okay, well, I'm going to get the basil, I'm going to get the oregano. It's already in the Italian blend. If you got the Mexicano, okay, well, I don't need the cumin, I don't need the cilantro, it's already in there. The tropical, same thing. So anyway, if you're into using the oils in cooking, this would definitely be some oils for you. The Ancient Oils collection, which I showed last week. Matter of fact, me and my daughter was here yesterday and we went through all of these oils. And, you know, we were trying to see which ones she liked, you know, which ones she didn't or whatever. And so there's myrrh, there's frankincense, galbanum, hyssop, which I was just reading hyssop the other day in the Bible when it was talking about the anointing of Jesus. Hyssop, cistus, and common myrtle. These are all ancient oils. And so these are just some unbelievably wonderful oils to have. And here's a fun fact. Galbanum, one of the essential oils in this collection, is described in both the Bible and the Talmud. Now, the Talmud is part of the Old Testament. But so basically all I'm saying in that is that these oils, you can actually find them written in the Bible, which was very, very interesting to me when I just, you know, got into the oils. It was just so interesting how that, you know, these, you can actually find, you know, the origin, the history of some of these essential oils. In other words, they've been around for a long time, right? And the medicinal qualities, the benefits of these oils have been known even back then, like myrrh. I was just reading in the Gospel of John, how that after Christ was dead, what they do, and not just Christ, but they do this with a lot of, but with Christ in particular, because they, I mean, it was a very special, you know, person to you know, to those that were there. But one of the traditions that they had of the time was that they embalm people that die with myrrh, and it's a very costly oil. And so, you know, when they used it on Christ, I mean, these oils were very expensive. And so anyway, I just thought it was very interesting, you know, and so I just wanted to pass along what, you know, the things that I'm learning. This is a new product, a product that I have, a product that I love. Sharon, you probably remember this from when you stood with me those couple days. I had this in the guest bedroom. This doTERRA, beautiful diffuser, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely love this diffuser. And it is all touch. You don't press anything. You simply just touch it with your finger and it turns on. It's amazing. It's just so neat. And then this holiday piece, this oil absolutely smells wonderful. It is a very, very nice smelling oil. If you like the pines and the, you know, the cypress and that type of oil, that particular oil, it just smells so good. Another brand new oil one of the things that I like about this oil, and I'm still trying to figure out what oil I'm smelling. There's an oil that comes through, and I think it probably has to be Litsea, because Litsea's got a very strong smell, but it's a beautiful, strong smell. It's citrus, but it's got something else in there. I haven't really been able to figure out what I'm smelling when I diffuse Air-X, but it is a wonderfully smelling oil. So if you have not gotten this oil yet, I highly recommend that you give it a try. Some other new products that came out this past year. This is the children's collection, and I highly recommend it. I purchased this collection and I gave it to my granddaughter, and she loves it. This collection actually has, and I don't, oh, you know, I should have put a picture of, because it actually has some cards. They're like a hard plastic, and it's it's on kind of like on a big plastic keychain, and so you can flip it and see, and the kids can see actually what these oils are doing. So basically, what you're doing is you're putting these oils in the hands of the child and empowering the child, right? For whatever, whatever they might need, whatever they might be feeling. Maybe they're, they're at school and maybe they want a thinker, or, maybe it's bedtime and they want the calmer. There's all of these, different things. And so each of these oils, they're formulated for children to use, and very good for a myriad of issues. Okay. They also come with, each and every one of these come with a special, it's like a silicone cap that actually sits on top of the oil, and you can actually clip the oil onto a backpack. And the silicone cap actually, it kind of cradles the oil so that, you don't lose the oil, but yet you can get to it very quickly and easily. But this is a very, very nice oil collection. That thinker in particular, I've given that thinker out to so many kids, and they like it. It's, it's nice to put it in the hands of the kids, and it's like they can actually be empowered, to have this oil to, to help them and to give them, some benefits. But anyway, it's very good because it provides alertness. Like for us, we would use, rosemary and maybe some, citrus and peppermint, right? And for a child, these oils are in there, but they're diluted in a blend that's safe for the child, because it's one thing that we want to be very careful of is, children with the oils, because children are, in other words, what's okay for us, we have to be very careful that we don't overdo it with the child. And I have done that myself. And Michelle, who's on this call, knows what I'm talking about. And so I have since learned a thing or two that, when you're dealing with children, especially babies, newborns, you have to highly dilute the oils. Well, this particular line actually does it for us. All right. So it's a great and wonderful child's line. Now, this is the adaptive that I was just talking about. If you don't know the benefits of this particular line of oils and soft gels, you are definitely missing out. Okay. This is a wonderful blend of several different oils that are known for its neurological benefits. Okay. Now, this just rolled out like last year at convention. Well, it was actually a post-convention that I went to here in Atlanta. This was brand new, and they had a whole display. And it was like a year and a month ago that we had went. I think it might have been in October or November. Lou was on the call, and he can probably correct me on that because we were there together. And I learned an awful lot about this line. And so, like I say, if you know anybody that has, the autism anywhere on the spectrum, this is an oil line that could be very, very empowering for them. And like I say, I actually, have somebody that I know very well that has been positively benefited from this particular line of products. So we could definitely talk more about that. Not enough could be said about adaptive. Now, here's some other new products that if you haven't seen, if you haven't tried, if you haven't experienced, I would highly recommend. There's those kits, the Soothe collection, the Calm collection, the Support collection. That's a brand new concept, a brand new product line. They've got some brand new diffusers such as the Roam, where you can actually take it, move it around, because that's been me so many times. It's like I move around a lot, and well, sometimes I move around a lot. And so one of the big things was that I wanted to find a diffuser that I could have out on my back patio. And it was like, okay, my outlet is across the way, and so I need extension cords and all that kind of stuff. Well, if you have the Roam, you don't have to do it. You just pick it up and you take it wherever you go, okay? The Dawn, now that's that big diffuser that's in the back. It's actually a humidifier diffuser. I think there's like, it holds like a gallon or half a gallon of water in there. It's huge, right? I know Kimberly, she was showing me pictures of it, and it's big. This is not just a small diffuser. This thing is big. right? And then you've got the doTERRA spa soap. I've got a picture of that as well. But let's go through each and every one of these. We've got the Soothe collection. It includes, of course, the Deep Blue Rub Lotion, and then a small refillable travel tube. That's that small Deep Blue Rub that you're seeing there. It includes the, the Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex, which is, if you're somebody that experiences pain and chronic pain, that is definitely a supplement that you might want to consider taking. It's something that you would take internally. And then the Deep Blue Rub would be external. So, and then also a 5 ml bottle of the actual Deep Blue oil. The support collection, of course, it's going to be all the On Guard, the doTERRA Purify, which is an amazingly wonderfully smelling oil, Wild Orange, Tea Tree, which we were just talking about, the doTERRA Touch frankincense, the On Guard Mist, which I use all over the place. That is an unbelievable oil. Matter of fact, my daughter was just telling me yesterday, she said when I gave her the On Guard, this was back at the beginning of the pandemic, and she was working at Planet Smoothie. And she said she was taking that On Guard and she was spraying the kiosk. She was just spraying away. She was just using it to just disinfect the handles and the doorknobs and just everything. She said she was just going crazy with it. And apparently some lady came in and, either smelled it or saw it. And she was like, wow, I want some of that, So my daughter was learning how to teach about the oils. We were talking about that last night because she really wants to get into this, to be able to be effective with it. And let me tell you something, if you want to learn to share these oils, let's have a conversation about it, because you can actually get your oils paid for if you just share about them. But that's a whole nother topic. I know I always go off topic. But anyway, so that's the On Guard Mist. And then there's the Stronger and the Carrying Case. So wonderful, wonderful support collection. And then there's the Calm collection. And this, the highlighted product really in this is going to be the Adaptive, which we were just talking about, but also the Serenity. Remembering one thing, that there are so many people that suffer from insomnia, so many people. And that Serenity, whether it's the oil that you can diffuse, whether it's the spray that you could spray on your bed linens, your pillows, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And then there's, of course, the travel size Balance deodorant. And I love the travel size deodorants because I do a lot of house sitting. Matter of fact, I just came off of a very busy house sitting season where, I would spend the night at clients' homes and, they're out of town visiting family or whatever. And this deodorant is in my travel bag and I love it. And then of course there's the Balance. It's a 15 ml of Balance, which is a wonderful oil to diffuse. Cedarwood, which is another wonderful, as a matter of fact, I have cedarwood going behind me. It's, what is it called? I always forget the name of my, it's Field of Flowers. It's geranium and cedarwood. And what else did I put in there? Oh, I always forget. But anyway, cedarwood is a wonderful calming aroma, which of course the Calm collection. And then of course there is the Adaptive Linen Mist, which again, part of the Adaptive line. This is a very nice collection as well. And then there is the Balance Spa bar. And look at it. I mean, it's black. Isn't that awesome? Because it's got the power of African black soap. Now, a lot of people know about that African black soap. And, it's like, hey, look at this, what a beautiful, it's like we've actually, as a society, we've gotten away from bar soaps and we're all into the, what do you call it? Oh my goodness, the gels, the bath gels. And, like me in particular, I always use the what is it called now? Bath and Body Works. I tell you, I haven't been to these places in so long, right? I mean, because now, I shop mostly at doTERRA for, you know, for my goodies, you know. Never mind the fact that there's a pandemic going on and there's a lot of stores that aren't even open. But anyway, yeah, so this might be a really good thing for people to try. And then of course there's the Helichrysum Touch, which for me is very new because it took me a long time to actually get Helichrysum in my life. And Helichrysum is absolutely wonderful. It's called the Immortal Flower. What a beautiful name, the Immortal Flower. And it's been around for a long time. So anyway, this is another, it's very good for any kind of skin, you know, issues, but this is another new product that, you know, that folks can, you know, can try. Here are those two diffusers. One is called a diffuser, the other is called a humidifier, but it is also a diffuser. And so the humidifier holds almost 1/2 gallon of water. It runs for up to 22 hours. Isn't that awesome? I mean, most of the time diffusers, you have to refill them, you know, a couple times a day. Not so with the Dawn. And very, very important, and I know I was talking to some folks about this yesterday, very, very important during this, during the flu season is to keep your house with a level of humidity. Humidity is very important. And there's scientific reason for that, but suffice it to be said is that the heavier the quantity, or I'm sorry, the quality of the particles in the air, the heavier they are, the less likely viruses are to stick around in the air. Okay. Now, what does that mean? The more moisture you have in your air, the heavier the air is. What happens is it all drops to the floor with the viruses. And so it's less likely to go into your nose, into your mouth, and you're less likely to get infected. So there's some science behind the reason that we want humidifiers going as well as diffusers. Diffusers do the same thing that a humidifier does. It expels water vapor, as well as the essential oil into the air. This humidifier does the same thing. And as you can see, you add water and essential oils directly through the top. Okay, now this Roam diffuser, you can recharge the battery. It runs for 10 hours at a time, which is awesome. Absolutely love that. So anyway, the Pilot, that's another one. It's a small version of the Roam. You can take it anywhere. You can put it in your car, whatever. As we see the picture, the young lady here in the middle of the library with her little Pilot going, you know, I mean, how awesome is that? It's rechargeable. You don't have to worry about where's the nearest plug, right? Use it wherever you want, okay? And oh, another really good thing about this that I noticed when I was incorporating these pictures, 12-month warranty. You want to know why you should buy your diffusers from doTERRA? Look at that warranty. There is no place that you're going to find a 12-month warranty on a diffuser. You would be hard pressed to try to find a diffuser that's going to last you 12 months, right? Let alone finding a diffuser that's got a 12-month warranty. Buy your diffusers from doTERRA and you're going to get high quality with a long-lasting warranty as well. All right, now this is my new fave, Yarrow Palm. I have been using this so much. I love, love, love it. First, I started using this Yarrow Palm on, and you're gonna say, what? On my feet, okay? When I would get out of the shower, I would take the Yarrow Palm, the one with the squirt on the, it's on the right-hand side of your screen. It's the body renewal serum. I would put that on my heels. I have a callus that's on just one of my feet. And I always say it's my souvenir from back in my Seaside Heights days where I was always on the beach and shoes, what was a shoe? I have no idea what a shoe even is, right? I never wore shoes. Well, I got just one callus on the bottom of my feet as a souvenir from all of those days, my teenage years. Well, this yarrow palm is unbelievably effective, okay? It does wonderful things for your feet. Well, since then, I have been using it also on my face, and I absolutely love it, and you will too. It feels wonderful going on, and it does what it's supposed to do. It is a wonderful collection. Why is it called yarrow palm? Well, it's a combination of yarrow oil and pomegranate oil, okay? So we can talk more about that another time, but the yarrow palm collection, it's fairly new, and that was what I wanted to highlight in today's Zoom, is all the kind of new stuff. Lou is going to highlight some other new stuff that has yet to be revealed. But this is the one that I'm talking about in particular. All of these that are here are good, but the one that I'm actually highlighting is this particular one right here. Revitalizes aging skin, promotes youthful looking skin, supports the skin's natural barrier. Unbelievably wonderful, powerful in the sense that it really works, but not powerful in the sense that it makes your skin feel like it's like, you know, on fire. Like I was telling, if you weren't on the Zoom early on, me and Barbara Ward were talking about that I was putting some clove actually on my skin, and I shouldn't have done that. And I don't want to do that anymore. I did it because I found a recipe, but it did not really mix well with my face. Clove oil, we know, is a hot oil. You do have to be very careful, you know, with where you're applying it. But I'm undoing what the clove oil did. I don't know if anybody can see under my eyes right here that I got a terrible reaction just because of the effect of the clove oil. And I wasn't putting it on neat just meaning straight. I wasn't putting it on just right from the bottle. I actually had it diluted, but it was just too much. This is probably the most sensitive part maybe of my skin, is just right here, you know, under your eyes. Anywhere where you can feel a bone, that's going to be a very, very thin layer of skin. And, you know, of course I feel the bone. So anyway, but this yarrow palm has been really helping me in, you know, undoing the effects of what I had done. So not that I'm going to stop using clove oil, I'm just going to not use the clove oil under my eyes any longer. Now, what a little bit about fractionated coconut oil. Why do I want to talk about fractionated coconut oil? Well, for the reasons that I was just explaining, that some oils are going to be hot oils, some oils are going to be very powerful oils, and you want to be careful that you don't just put them neat or straight out of the bottle on your skin. Now, some oils you can do that, and some people you can do that, okay? Such as cypress, okay? So I use cypress all the time, and I use it straight out of the bottle. I apply it to my ankle areas. I've got some vein issues, and you know, Zena can talk more about that later on, but I have some little vein issues on my ankles, and I take cypress literally straight from the bottle and I apply it to those areas, and it's working great so far. But there are other oils and there are other applications that you want to make sure that you have fractionated coconut oil as part of your recipe, okay? Now, what is it? As it says here, it's a form of coconut oil, which almost all the long chain triglycerides are removed, okay? So what does that mean? It just means that it's in a liquid form rather in a solid state, okay? So you can get coconut oil and it kind of looks like, what do you call it? What is that, Crisco? You know, where you have to scoop it out, you know, and it's kind of like, it's more solid. It's like a, you know, you guys all know what Crisco is, right? But fractionated coconut oil it's liquid, and that's what we want to use, okay? Now, this saturation gives it a very long shelf life. As a matter of fact, I was actually going to include a slide in here that showed that, excuse me, what this slide was showing was all the different types of oils: jojoba, almond oil, coconut oil, all different kinds of oils that we can use as a carrier oil, and showing the shelf life. Well, one of the things that it was stating on that particular slide is that coconut oil has got almost an indefinite shelf life. In other words, it never goes rancid. And I was like, wow, I was taken back. I had no idea that it, it's got such a long shelf life. Whereas a lot of other oils do not. They do have a shelf life. And you just have to, be careful that, you're using them within that time. Not so with coconut oil. So the coconut oil that you bought last year or the year before or the year before that, guess what? You can still use it. All right. So that's basically all that I want to say is just to know that it's not going to harden. And it's kind of a fancy form of coconut oil. All right. So, all right, topical dilution. Whenever it says topical dilution, and a lot of times the recipes or the protocols that you're using, it's going to say topical dilution, especially if you're using it for children or babies. It's always going to say diluted, right? Well, there's actually some benefits to having the oil diluted topically. And I know we were talking a little bit about this last week. It reduces the rate of essential oil evaporation. So in other words, basically what that means is when you put essential oils on you, if you put them on straight, they evaporate very quickly, but they also absorb very quickly. Well, the topical dilution reduces the flash rate to where it's not going to evaporate into the air as quickly to allow it to diffuse into your skin or to absorb into your skin at a much more, what do you call, not powerful, potent? I don't even know the right word. In other words, more is going to evaporate or more is going to absorb into your skin than will evaporate into the air, if that makes sense. It also increases the absorption, which I guess I just talked about all of that. And then it also speeds up the essential oil assimilation into the body. Couple kits, just want to put that out there. Very, very important that we know what we're doing if we're new, which I know that there's several people on this Zoom call right now that have not purchased a kit. If you have not purchased a kit, I do want to explain it is very, very simple, okay? You purchase a Healthy Start Kit. It's the top 10 oils, a diffuser. It costs you $160. There's no enrollment fee. And from this point on, you get all of your oils at a wholesale price, okay? So there's the Healthy Essentials Kit, which again, it's the top 10 oils, a diffuser. This one is going to be $249. These are larger bottles. So you're getting 3 times the amount of oils, not 3 times the price, okay? This is a wonderful starting kit. And then there's the Healthy Habits Kit. For those who like the supplements, want to be taking the supplements, this includes, you're going to get 5 of very, very powerful, very popular, I should say, essential oils. Yes, they are powerful. You're going to get the Lifelong Vitality. You're going to get other supplements as well as the Deep Blue Rub. This is a very popular kit as well. Before I go to Zena, I just want to make mention, just to know some of the promos for this particular month. We've got 25% off. That is a huge discount. If you have any kind of GI issues, IBS, Crohn's, diverticulitis, I mean, there's so many GI issues, right? Just having issues, when you eat, your stomach hurts. This is an awesome product to use. I have heard some wonderful things about it. I don't really have GI issues. I don't know. I mean, I try to eat healthy. I don't know. The past couple of days, I haven't been eating too healthy, but I try. Generally speaking, I usually do. And so I don't know if that's the reason why I don't have GI issues. I don't know, but I've heard some great things about this peppermint. It's an enteric coated peppermint. So what happens is it actually resists the stomach acid so that it can get into the lower GI, which would be your small and large intestine, which is actually usually where all the problems happen. The product of the month is this Tea Tree Touch. And that means that if you make a purchase of a 125 PV order, you get this free, as well as you get all of those awesome points. So this, the Tea Tree Touch is the product of the month, and a brand new product, which I love because I love tea tree and I also love makeup wipes. Tea Tree makeup wipes. Awesome. This is going to be an awesome product. I cannot wait to try it. But I wanted to throw that out there just to kind of entice folks that, you know, hey, look at what's coming down the line. We are going to discuss lavender. And with that, I would like for Zena to unmute herself and go ahead and take over the screen. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about this awesome product that we were keeping secret at the beginning of this Zoom call. And it is no longer a secret because Zena is going to talk about it. Go ahead, Zena.
Thanks, Barbara. Yes, like you said, I wanted to talk a little about my favorite oil. I know a couple of weeks ago, you ended your class with what's your favorite oil and what are some of the things you use it for? And I know lavender, like you said, is my favorite. I love the way it smells. I love the color. I know, I think lavender fields are beautiful. I see those pictures, sometimes they have them on screensavers, the rolling fields of the lavender, and they're beautiful. I just love it. And also it's calming to look at, for myself. I know I looked at just some of the highlight points for lavender. Lavender, and I didn't know some of this, so it was I was really kind of surprised and shocked and pleased at the same time. Lavender is the best-selling oil, the top-selling best oil. And I didn't know that. And, for its calming properties. And it's also is the widely most used oil in the world. And I was like, in the world, because it's, everywhere. And this is another fact that I learned. It takes about 3 bushels of lavender to produce 15 mils of oil. And, I thought that was really good too. And I know, just going back just a couple of points, and like I said, I didn't have a whole lot to share, but with this, I know that was the first, lavender is the first oil that I used for myself. And I shared this before, for my blood pressure. But what I do, I use it at night. I apply it under my nose. I use a roller bottle, apply it under my nose. I rub it under the bottom of my feet and on my big toes, and I'm out. Like it take about 5 minutes and I'm out. And I really, really enjoy using that lavender. And some of the other benefits as well, I use a diffuser and also to diffuse it. And sometimes I put a drop on my pillow. But I also have used and found the benefits of using lavender, with cuts, burns. And just recently, last week, I got burned with a match. And I was like, oh my. And I quickly pulled out the lavender, rolled it on. Within 20 seconds, it was gone. And, I know you used to slide, even with that, it didn't cause any, marks or anything like that. And it was gone away quickly. And also, I've used it for insect bites and stings. And I was sharing one time I went to the store, and it was the bee, and it actually, kind of got me. Well, that time I used a different oil, but it had lavender in it. And I put it on, and I actually pulled the stinger out and put it on. And I didn't really, it was, the pain was gone almost, really quickly, about 20 seconds as well. And another good thing that I use, I tried this summer, we have all the mosquitoes out and just different things like that. And, the bugs. So I made my own insect repeller. And it was 10 drops of lavender and 10 drops of lemon. And I put the rubbing alcohol in it as well. And it worked very well. But then I noticed another time I hadn't used it, and I got bitten up by the mosquitoes. And then I made an after effect, you know, from being bit with by mosquitoes. And so that recipe is 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of lemon, but you use apple cider vinegar, and it works as well also to take away the sting. So those are just some of the amazing benefits that I've used with lavender, and I really love it. Like I said, I love the smell and everything about it. And so I just wanted to share those points as well.
All right, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Zena. Are there any other comments that anybody wants to make with the lavender? I mean, I just think it's pretty amazing when, you know, it's like, you know, like I was talking about with that little blemish I was saying, you know, I put the lavender on and it's, I mean, within hours, it's as if it almost never happened, you know. Lavender is an amazing, one of the things that I like about it, you know, you always hear, Zena, you know, lavender is like all things calming, right? It's calming. So it calms down skin irritations. It calms down our mind, our thoughts, right? And even like you said, even the sight. Matter of fact, I was actually going to put the rolling fields of lavender as the backdrop, you know, for your little, you know, your little monologue, but I like this particular slide better. But I could have put the rolling fields. So what I'm saying is that even the appearance of it is soothing, right? So when it says all things calming, it means what it says, all things calming. It just calms everything, right? And so that's one of the beauties of that particular oil. I know Kimberly always likes to call it the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. So I always thought that was cute how she, you know, she always likes to call it that, which, you know, is true. I mean, it does so much for so much, right? So much for so much. So.
Hey, Barb.
Yes, Frances.
Lavender is also an oil that I really, really love. And there's so many multiple uses for it. Like Zena mentioned there, you know, I also use it, Zena, for the bug repellent. I have a bug repellent that I also made and I call it bug juice. And I have a spray bottle of it that I keep in the car. And I've made it for some of the Christians at, you know, the church and stuff in the summertime when we're getting chewed up by mosquitoes and stuff, you know, just to kind of keep those bug bites away. I also found that, you know, putting it on immediately after I get bitten by an ant, I seem to have some kind of a reaction to ant bites. And so if I put it on immediately after getting bitten by the ant or whatever, I don't get the actual swelling or the itching, or if I do, it's gone within like less than 5 minutes, like no ongoing issues with it. But I also wanted to mention that my daughter worked at a daycare, and there was a little boy there, a little baby, and he was teething. And once he started teething, he stopped eating. That included, he wouldn't nurse, he wouldn't do anything. And his mom, she worked, you know, at, I think she worked at a hospital. I think she might've been a nurse or a doctor. She didn't know what to do. She was kind of like, he's not eating. And so she mentioned it to my daughter, who said, my mom might have something that can help. And so she texted me and said what was going on with him. And I looked in my oil Bible and found that lavender, you can put it on the gums of the baby, which is very irritated and it's hurting, it's itching, it's whatever it's doing, and it soothes it. And so I sent the oil Bible to work with my daughter the next day so that, you know, this mom can actually look at it for herself and see for herself all the uses of that bottle of lavender, you know, so that, you know, because I think sometimes what kind of might put some people off is the cost of the oil, not realizing that that one bottle can be used for so many different things and it's going to last you for such a while, you know. But nonetheless, I sent the book with my daughter to work, and the mom was able to see all the uses of the oil. My daughter came home with a check in her hand for me to order the oil. So once they got the oil and the mom started using it, and she said immediately she saw results where the baby was now able to actually eat. He wasn't as fussy, you know, and he wasn't, it wasn't as hard for her to get him to eat. But then my daughter said that the funny thing is that afterwards, he would burp or spit up, and all you could smell was lavender. It's all because the mom was using it like every day. You know, she was just gonna make sure that, you know, his poor little gums were gonna be soothed enough so that he wasn't having such discomfort. And I just thought to mention that because that wasn't something that I had known about before. You know, I knew about the bug bites and all that stuff, allergies, eczema, you know, but it helps with that situation also.
Okay, all right, that's very good. Well, you know, funny that you know, you guys are talking about, you know, Zena, when you were talking about the rash. John Jr. just asked a question about what oil should I use for poison ivy? And so as Francis, as you were talking, I did a quick Google search, and what oil do you suppose came up? So I have down, there's one remedy, 1 drop of lavender oil, 1 drop. Now, John, understand that kit that I was telling you about, the Healthy Essentials kit, in those bottles, there's 250 drops, okay? They're saying 1 drop. 1 drop of Roman chamomile, 1 drop of eucalyptus, 1 drop of peppermint. Now, of course, you're gonna want to mix that like with a little carrier oil, right? For ease of spread and all of those things that we talked about, and rub it on, but you gotta use it frequently, right? Not just one time and, oh, okay, I'm cured, right? You gotta use it frequently, right? Poison ivy is a very, very aggressive, because it also spreads too, right? If those oils from that poison ivy get under your fingernails and then you touch some other part of your body, it's gonna spread. That's one of the worst things about poison ivy too. So, and then there's also another remedy that you can actually put it in a spray bottle, okay? 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of cypress, 3 drops of peppermint oil, a little bit of salt, some warm water, and a little bit of vinegar. You put it in a spray bottle, and you could spray it on yourself as well. But John, I text Alexis that information as well, so you've got it at your fingertips as well. So you don't have to, I don't have to repeat it, but just let it be known that lavender is the top oil for poison ivy. So anyway, I noticed that that Lou just showed his face. So I know that Lou probably wants to say something. So I'm going to give Lou the carpet. Go right ahead, Lou. You're on mute.
Thank you, Barbara. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, Lou. Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Lou.
Zena. Okay, there's a couple things I did want to mention today while we're all together. I get to use part of team. Oh, I'm sorry. Should I share my screen? Let me see if I'm allowed to do that.
Oh, we forgot to do that.
Host disabled. So if the host wants to allow me screen sharing.
Oh, and I meant to actually. All right, hang on one second.
No problem.
All right, I'm gonna first. I've got to stop the recording.